Good morning, Mayor Bowser, Deputy Mayor Niles, and Chancellor Wilson, and welcome to Brooklyn Middle School. About 2 years ago, when Brooklyn was a brand new building, but not yet a school or community, we had the privilege of hosting Mayor Bowser for that year's budget release conference. You see, Brooklyn Middle School is emblematic of the investment of this administration, system, and city they have made in our middle school students. The school was created from the ground up to serve and grow the students of Ward 5 and beyond. Since then, that investment has become a reality. We now boast an arts and world languages environment. Our campus thrives with writers, mathematicians, athletes, and student leaders, some of whom are sitting here today. Our faculty arrives each day to support, grow, and enrich the students we serve. Our families volunteer, attend student-led conferences, and cheer from the sidelines. How we invest in our schools is a critical starting point. The 2-year middle school investment, algebra in all middle schools, expanding clubs and activities, and providing STEM programs are just a few of the initiatives from which we have benefited or will benefit. But it is the people in our schools, especially our teachers and students, who turn this investment into a return. This morning, I have the honor of introducing one of those students. Stella Makuza is an 8th grader at Brooklyn Middle School. Stella recently earned high honor roll with a GPA of over 3.5, leads the school in academic achievement data, is a caring sibling and daughter, and aspires to impact our world in the medical field. Please join me in welcoming the phenomenal Stella Makuza.
Good morning, Mayor Bowser, Deputy Mayor Niles, Chancellor Wilson, special guests, and my fellow 8th graders here at Brooklyn Middle School. My name is Stella Makuza, and I will be representing the Brooklyn community by introducing Mayor Bowser today. I am a founding member of Brooklyn Middle School and started in its opening year as a 7th grader. Here, I have discovered that math is my favorite subject because in math, we are pushed to not give up and to problem solve in more difficult situations, including those we have not seen before. I am a student in the algebra class and appreciate that my school offers this advanced course. I believe algebra should be offered in every middle school so that you can be on track to take college-level math by the 12th grade. I also enjoy humanities because it is important to know my rights as an individual citizen in America. Too many people currently do not know their rights and are struggling in the world. As a result of my humanities class at Brooklyn, I can now teach others and they can benefit from my knowledge. One of my favorite things about Brooklyn Middle School is that we are encouraged to try our hardest and never give up. For example, Ms. Ozera never lets us give up, or Ms. Hahn, who always notices if we are struggling and makes sure to help. Those are just 2 examples, but in general, our teachers look out for us and make sure that we are the best people that we can be. One thing I would change about Brooklyn is adding more choice. As an arts and world language integrated school, we take at least 2 arts and 1 language class each day. Right now, I am taking Chinese, band, and visual arts, but we mostly travel in the same cohorts or groups for the day. I am excited that the mayor is investing in clubs and activities because that will give students even more choice and independence in their class schedule next year. Next year, as I look to high school, I have applied to schools that focus on math and science because I want to be a neurologist or a surgical nurse when I grow up. I feel lucky to go to a school in a city where you have choices for high school. I did not know that in other places you only have 1 option. As a proud student at Brooklyn and in DC public schools, it is my privilege to introduce Mayor Bowser.
Well, let's hear it for Stella. Wasn't that an awesome presentation and representation of Brooklyn Middle School? I told Stella when she greeted me at the door that I went to Brooklyn School. It was brand new then. The last iteration was brand new, was much different because people had the funny idea that there should be no walls in schools. And I was a pre-kindergartner and kindergartner here at this school. I grew up not too far from here, and that's where my parents still live. So this school has a very, very special place in my heart. So I also want to thank Principal Licknell for her leadership here at Brooklyn. Give the principal a big round of applause. All the teachers and staff here at Brooklyn who make this a special place for Stella. I noticed that you mentioned your teachers who challenge you each and every day and who focus on the special offerings here at Brooklyn. But I also appreciated you hearing, because you're the customer, how we can better serve you and provide more choices and opportunities here for you at this beautiful school. So it's not enough for us to build a beautiful school, is it? We have to make sure the teachers and staff and principal have all the things that they need. And you have to continue to tell us what's going to make school interesting and fun and enhance your experience here. So whatever you decide to do, in your case, you want to be a scientist or a nurse, you will have the tools that you need and a lot of experiences to make choices. The thing about being in 8th grade is you may change your mind next year or the year after that. And so we want to give you a lot of different experiences so when you make those critical decisions about college and career, you can look back at your experience here or in high school and make the best decision for your future. So I don't have to tell everybody we're very focused on how we double down on the investments in your education. We've done a lot in the time that we've been very, very focused on transforming our schools, and we're going to do even more. We have a couple of more customers in the audience, the other students here at Brooklyn, and I think we have some future Brooklyn students in the back, so I want to acknowledge the Ward 5 moms who are here, and I also want to acknowledge Commissioner Grace Lewis, who is a leader in the Ward 5 community, and I know a real supporter of Brookland. So Chancellor Wilson and Deputy Mayor Niles and I are happy to be here today to talk about even more investments. Now, one of my most favorite things to talk about that we've worked on at DCPS is extending the school year. Isn't that great, kids?
Oh, yes.
More school? I like it. So we extended it to, don't worry, I'm not going to say we're extending it here at Brooklyn, not yet, but we extended it to 11 schools last year. So boys and girls across the city are able to get 20 extra days of instruction, which we know will pay huge dividends in terms of what they learn and what they retain. We also had 500 paid internships where DCPS partnered with another agency to make sure that our summer youth experiences could enhance the instruction that you get here every day at Brooklyn. We launched new academies in public safety and IT and engineering and public health because those are the jobs of the future. So when you go to high school, you may choose to focus in the public health area, and I think that we're going to be able to offer that at Coolidge High School as well. We've expanded our study abroad programs, and last summer, 400 8th graders were able to go to Senegal, China, Italy, and 500 more will be going this summer. Maybe I can tag along to one of those places. And DCPS opened 6 new schools over the last several years. Here at Brookland, Ron Brown Preparatory High School, as well as McFarland, in addition to Van Ness and a couple of others. So that represents significant growth. And the chancellor and deputy mayor tell me they need even more money for DC public schools. And you know why? Because more families keep coming to DC public schools. And that is a great indicator for our system. We know we're doing things right because people tend to vote with their feet. They see great things happening and they say, I want my child to be a part of that great thing. So we want to announce 4 critical goals today and how we're going to get there. And I'm going to turn to the Deputy Mayor and Chancellor to talk a little bit about that. Deputy Mayor Niles.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. This is just a spectacular day in a spectacular setting. I can't believe that we're here. Thank you, Principal Licknell and students, and this beautiful mural behind us. And thank you, Mayor Bowser, for your steadfast commitment to improving education across our great city. We're really delighted to make these announcements about our investments today. And there's two different areas, and I'm not going to give away all the specifics, but I did want to highlight that we're going to talk about expanding our science, technology, engineering, and math. And so I'm really excited about that because I want to give a shout out to our Office of the State Superintendent of Education in partnership with the Carnegie Institute, the Carnegie Academy of Science Education, because they've created a citywide STEM network that these activities will help continue to promote. We have a partnership that has a STEM fair that's hosted it for many years, and we have over 250 cross-sector partners that join us in that STEM fair. We've expanded, as the mayor mentioned, our NAF academies, and the STEM network is really pulling it together to provide support for STEM across the city in lots of different ways. And we also will have more extracurricular activities that our chancellor is going to share with you. And we really are taking a hard look at our cross-sector collaboration and are starting our second year of the task force to expand that collaboration. It's not even been a month yet since our chancellor has been here, so it was with pleasure that I can introduce Chancellor Wilson, and who can tell us a little bit more about all the exciting things for our middle schools and secondary schools.
So first and foremost, hello, I'm excited to be here at Brooklyn and to come here and see the scholars right up front. And I appreciate the mayor really highlighting that everything we do is really about the students. Schools are designed to ensure that students are successful. That's the whole point of what we do, this exercise. And so I just appreciate the prioritization of students. I want to take a moment just to appreciate the mayor and this city in general. I mean, coming to this city that is a place that is leading the nation in investing in young people, in the belief that all young people should have the best that we have to offer to ensure that they are able to reach their full potential. And so I want to appreciate all the prior leaders who have done so much work. And I think about how bold those leaders have been. To think about that we're going to be a place where we are going to be hungry to attract all of the most talented people who are dedicated to working in education and say, we want you to come here to DC because all our students deserve the best, and we're going to do everything we can to have the best people here and keep them. And so that is a tremendous investment. And it shows in so many ways. The mayor talked about extended school year, and I saw some students wipe their brow when they learned that it wasn't the investment we were going to mention here for this school yet. But it's been other things, the cornerstone investments. I mean, the audacity of a district to say that there are certain learning opportunities that are just too special for certain students or any student not to have the opportunity to be exposed to them. And so, you know, you've seen the pictures of the students learning how to ride bikes and exploring, using those new skills to explore the city. You've heard about the investments in science and technology. You've heard about the investments in literacy and in people. And in the spirit of those investments, we want to keep that work going. Now, we know that we're here at Brooklyn Middle School, and the school has been focused on academics. It's a school that is infusing arts, and as you heard, exposing students to technology. I learned about the visual arts and the performing arts. I learned about the STEM opportunities, and we want more of that. Because ultimately what we know is that we're trying to prepare our students not just for success in middle school. We're not trying to prepare our students just for success in high school or even success here in DC. We want our students to be globally competitive, which means that we need to expose our students to the best of everything. And I think about that in terms of my own personal experience. I wasn't fortunate enough to go to a middle school. I went to a junior high, and it was just a mini high school. And they just kind of dropped us in with almost 1,000 other students and said, figure it out. Luckily for me, I was able to take a few classes that helped me later in life. And most importantly, it was just the exposure. Because while I didn't end up going into carpentry or doing anything in metals, while I don't regularly use my home ec skills, the sewing and all of those things that I learned, it was the ability to be exposed to some classes where I had to try new things, learn new skills, and that skill, the willingness to be curious, has served me so well later in life. And so it's in that light that we want to talk about our investments coming up. And it's really two areas of focus that I'm thinking about over the next several years in DC. And they boil down to two words: excellence, and equity. We want to make sure that whatever we do, we're trying to do it to the best of our ability. The city has already decided to do that. You see it exemplified here in terms of the learning environment in Brooklyn. This is an amazing facility. We see that carried out throughout the city, an unprecedented investment to transform all of the school facilities. And I can just tell you, having been other places, that this is not something that is typical, but it's certainly necessary. Excellence, equity. We want to make sure that what we do for one child and what we believe about one child is true for every child, that every student is pushed to meet their full potential. And so in that, we want to make sure that we are investing in the whole child. That speaks to area of interest of mine, social emotional learning, which means that we don't want you just to learn. We want to make sure that we care about how you learn. So investments in extracurricular activities. That's important for us. Investment in co-curricular activities like robotics, like other STEM, engineering classes. It's important to us. Investment in our high schools to make sure that every student is put on a path for college and career readiness is important to us. So specifically, our middle school investments start with ensuring that at every middle school, as one of our students just so eloquently said, every middle school has the opportunity for students to take algebra, and that currently we have 853 students in middle school who are taking algebra. That's a third of our 8th graders. In 5 years, we want to double that number. We want to see as many students as possible being exposed to rigorous curricula. Currently, right now, those students who are taking algebra, a third of them earn 4s and 5s, meets expectations on the PARCC assessment. We want to double that number. We know that we can help our students learn. We know that we can help our students become the engineers, the scientists, the mathematicians, and the architects. I remember you said that to me. You're interested in all of that. We know that we can help them if they're exposed to the math. So algebra in middle school. STEM courses, I mentioned, computer science and engineering at every middle school. Sports, extracurriculars. Folks, while my mother was pushing math, and I loved math, it used to be my favorite subject as well when I was in middle school, junior high, I was excited about basketball. I was excited about track. The basketball and track put me in a position that I was willing to learn the math, to learn the science. In our high schools, we want to make sure that we're investing in those students as well. So every high school student will be working on creating a post-secondary plan, and we are hiring people to support them in that. We know that it works because this year we invested in such a position at Ballou, and 100% of the students at Ballou High School have applied to college. 100% of their seniors. We're also going to continue our investments in high school by making sure that students have preparation classes for SAT. If we're going to prepare students for college, we need to make sure that they are able to successfully complete those exams. And then we want our students out visiting as many colleges as possible. We are incredibly fortunate because there's so many opportunities here in this region. We need our students to know about all of them. Whether they're 2-year institutions, 4-year institutions, we want our students to be exposed to that. And this isn't just about high school, this is about all students. So in the spirit of that, we want to make sure that our students who may fall behind, that we have investments for those students as well. So we're going to be investing in personalized learning for our alternative schools. We are going to hire re-engagement specialists. We've already hired a few already. And basically what the job of these re-engagement specialists is when students are disconnected is to go find them, meet with them, get them connected, and then get them on the path to graduation and onto the world of college and career. And we want to make sure that in those classes, in those schools, that those students have partnerships, that they are also participating in sports. I want to close by just saying this, that ultimately our job is to recognize that we need to use all means, legal and moral, to ensure that our students get the best of what this country has to offer. And this country is amazing when we do everything that we can in our power to help our students succeed, because we know that our students have the full potential to be successful. It's really a matter of the determination in our investment, determination in our commitment. I'm proud to work with tremendous educators all over the city. I get an opportunity to be a representative for them. And students, I want you to take away from this our strong belief in you. So we, again, appreciate the mayor. We appreciate the city for investing in DCPS. And DCPS is going to continue to get stronger onward.
Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you. So I don't normally make budget announcements before I release the budget. So you can tell that these are very special initiatives. $6.2 million that will include investment in the middle school experiences that the Chancellor just mentioned, expanding investments in our high school students, and more investments in preparing students for college and career. Okay, I'll take any questions. Yes, Tom.
$6 million, Mayor, is a lot of money, but in the school budget, it's not a lot of money. It's nearly $1 billion for all the education in town. Is this a down payment on what you're going to do, or is this it? Are you planning more?
We do new initiatives every year. I think the last time we met at a school, Tom, we were at Alice Deal Middle School, and we were talking about investments that we had made in the last 2 years in the middle grades. We talked then about building on our math experiences when we talk to parents and we ask them what do they want to make sure is available across the city. We frequently hear that we need consistency of offerings across our grades. So it is true. We already make a tremendous investment in public education, and we don't equate improving our offerings or choices or our schools with dollars alone. So we are making sure that we're looking at all of the different things that the Chancellor talked about, but this is a discrete area, 3 discrete areas where we're going to make new investments.
If I may ask, when you campaign for mayor, you campaign on improving the middle schools for all the reasons we know. Do you feel like you're making enough progress to take it back to the people in the coming campaign?
Well, one thing that I know for sure is that we made a commitment that all of the buildings would have similar investments. And already in last year's budget, our capital improvement program included those investments. So by the end of that capital improvement program, all of the middle schools will have the level of investment that you see here, the buildings themselves at Brooklyn Middle School. And so that's huge. We also have opened another middle school at McFarland, and that is going to be one of the schools that gets that the physical transformation. We may be doing another one at Coolidge. This is the mayor saying, we may be doing another one at Coolidge. So we'll have all of the areas of the city covered. But I don't think any of us will be satisfied until more parents are confident that we have the elementary schools ready for their kids, the middle schools and high schools ready for their kids, and when we're able to attract them back to those grades when we know that we're on the right track.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Please state your name.
She talks with you.
Okay.
There are a number of schools in Ward 3 and in the student network that are already over capacity, and their parents continuing influence to exacerbate that problem. What do you see as solutions?
Sure. And so I'm going to ask the Deputy Mayor and Chancellor to talk a little bit more about our capital planning. But imagine when you're standing where we're standing, that's the challenge that you want to meet. It could be very different, and it had been very different in our public schools for many years, where we weren't talking about having more space because parents were fleeing our system. And now parents are gravitating towards our system. So this is a challenge or a problem, if you will, that we're ready ready to tackle. The good thing is that we're in a city that says consistently that public education is our top priority. And so when we have a plan and when we're doing our comprehensive planning now about where people choose to live and work and how long they live here and how many schools and hospitals and roads and the like that we need. And that will inform the master facilities planning that we're doing for schools.
Sure. So I have the great pleasure of actually leading the master facilities plan for education, both for DC public schools and for public charter schools. We're going to start that, and we've already started some, and it'll be done within a year. And so it will require that we will need to look at the capacity and our projections around the city for all different schools and have plans to accommodate, as the mayor said, this great blessing, which is that we have parents more and more wanting to come back to DC public schools and public charter schools.
So I want to appreciate the question. When I hear the question around Ward 3 and the schools, what it says to me is a few things. One is it says that we as a city have offered a set of opportunities that more families and students say they want. And so that's a great thing. But what we also, I think it's important to think about in that work is to listen to what the mayor said and then what has been true in terms of what's been happening across the city. So this city has said we're going to make sure that all students are exposed to certain electives regardless of school. And so we're here to make sure that families know that you don't have to go across town or leave your neighborhood to have access to electives that any of us would want our children to have. What we know is that families are looking to have opportunities to be in rigorous classes. They want their child to be in algebra. If they're ready for it, they want to have opportunities for that. So we're saying we're going to make sure that's true. Some schools, the families are saying, our students need more time, more help. And so the city said, you know what? You're right. We're going to make sure that you have more time and more help. So I think that the thing that we need to focus on is making sure that the investments that we've made over the last several years and this year are about that. It's about saying that we hear you, we know that you want these opportunities, and in the case of Brooklyn, you can come here and you can have those opportunities here in an amazing facility that is as every bit as nice as Deal, and you'll have exposure to the same types of opportunities that you can get across town. You can save gas money or transportation money or whatever else.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Chancellor and Mayor, the big issue in Ward 3, everyone knows, is Wilson High School is way oversubscribed, in enrollment. Duke Ellington is going to come on board at some point in the future after a couple $100 million. It's under-enrolled based on the students it can handle. Is there any plan to put regular high school students there, regular high school classes there?
No, there isn't. So Duke Ellington is our premier school for the performing arts. And if in these plans that we determine we need another high school in the west side of the city, many people have talked about that. Our planning hasn't suggested that we needed another neighborhood high school on the west side of the city. But if we come to that point, then we will make plans to have it. I think I want to kind of piggyback on what the chancellor was also talking about. And I don't have to tell you, Tom, that many people have thought for years that the only place they could get a quality middle school education was one school in the city, and that's just not true. And that is what, when I talk about having an Alice Deal for all, it's not literally making a facsimile of Alice Deal, but having what is it that people like about that school? And that is that they have a robust set of offerings that is consistent, and we want all parents to know that. And that goes for high schools too. And so that part of making and dealing with capacity issues in any place, over demand issues, is making sure that the whole system is attractive to families. Yes. Oh, I have some commissioners here. Yes, Commissioner. Commissioner Carson Carr and Commissioner Settles. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate the initiative that you're doing, but in listening to the rollout of this, a couple of things have crossed my mind. One is cultural competency and equity, and that we want to stay on our side of the river and have our children go to our neighborhood school, but we find that difficult because of the initiatives that we've had in the past with starting things but very quickly after it starts, within 1 or 2 years, the resources are pulled away. So the quality of teaching goes way down in that area. So that's one big thing. And then the last thing is school climate. We want our children safe. So we need an initiative. We need to talk about that. And you know my issue about Stuart Hobson Middle School, that we thought we were taking our children on this side of the river where it was safe, and it is not. So I'm asking you to really work with us on this, to have cultural competency be taught to the teachers in training in earnest, not a 1 day, an hour workshop, please.
Right.
Please.
And so I appreciate that. And I know that the chancellor is very committed to building on the investments that we're making in professional development of our teachers and staff, because the teachers and the staff deliver and make all of this happen. So those investments are very important to us. And we're proud of the work that we've done with teachers. You know, we have the most highly compensated teachers. There's a very rigorous set of a bonus structure available to teachers. But there are two things. There are one thing that's very intangible, and we want to make sure teachers know that we love and respect the work that they do. And we can show, another way that we can show that is by investing in their professional development. So we're committed to that. I will say I don't think that any of us has one side of the river that belongs to us. Okay, both sides of the river are ours, and so you should make the choices for your student regardless of the side of the river you choose. Okay, so let me just say that. So our commitment is to getting rid of that demarcation in our city. So no matter the side of the river you live on, we want a robust neighborhood school for you. So you will feel very confident in your neighborhood school all the way through pre-K, all the way through 12th grade. But you also will have a system of choices that if you want, if your child wants to go to Duke Ellington, for example, or wants to go to McKinley Technology High School, for example, those avenues will be available as well. Yes.
With these programs you put in there, especially the STEM and all of that, please make sure that all children have the ability to do it. Because just because you have an IEP does not
Absolutely.
Deny you the right. And I'm telling you that's happening
Okay.
in schools.
Okay.
So please.
Absolutely. And I think one thing that, and the chancellor can correct me, but this is my understanding of what we're doing. Because I feel I've had this experience and this conversation with a number of parents that there's some special program about science. Well, science is everywhere. Right. Okay, it should be permeated throughout the curriculum. When these kids come out on this plaza, they're learning about science. So it's not some special one-off that you have to worry about being unfunded. It's something that will permeate the curriculum. Okay, is there? Yes, I may excuse the children. Okay, do you have another question on schools? Okay.
It's about kind of the data that drives some of these students. I've heard from some parents, like, for example, data about how many students are currently enrolled and then projections of somebody
Sure.
being enrolled in a few years.
Okay.
Some parents have said that some of that data is either inaccurate or behind in the decisions they're making, not based on what's behind. Yeah, so I'm just wondering kind of what plans there are to kind of make sure that the data is accurate.
I'm going to turn to Jenny on this because she loves data and cuts it and slices it and analyzes it in very effective ways for us. So when she comes to me with a number, I usually ask her about it a couple of times, and it's pretty good.
I'm pleased to say that the Office of Planning is actually updating the projections for the city. And so we've just about completed and will be releasing actually to share it broadly with those projections by neighborhood and by age. And so that's going to be the basis that we're going to use for the Master Facilities Plan. And that's updated once, I think, every 5 years. And so maybe it's even 10 years, forgive me. But I'm excited that we've been working closely with OP. So when we have that data, and then of course we have our enrollment data, but it's that projection data that's going to be particularly important for our planning purposes.
All right, thank you, everybody.
It's about the police officer.
Thank you, Principal.